I am making a shark deck profile for post-legendary duelist Duels from the Depths. This deck is probably one of my best, if not the best deck I have. Just because of the fact that Kraken control is insane, and just the amount of negates this deck can toss out with only 2 or 3 cards is almost insane. So, but starting off with the monsters, I play 3 copies of Tenyi Spirit Shathana. Shathana is an extender in this deck just because of how it is a level 4 water monster that you can summon from your hand by controlling no effect monsters. And it being a level 4 water is all it needs to be played in this deck. Then I play 3 copies of Silent Sea Nettle. Silent Sea Nettle can be summoned from your hand just by controlling a water monster, but then locks you into water for the entirety of the turn. Or for the rest of the turn. And then while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to then target 3 water monsters in your grave and return them to the deck. Then I play 3 copies of Silent Angler. Silent Angler can be summoned from your hand just by controlling a water monster. But if you do this, then you get locked out of water, or you get locked out of summoning from your hand for the rest of the turn. Then I play 2 copies of Lantern Shark. Lantern Shark has the effect of when it's normal or special summoned, you can activate its effect so you can special summon a level 3, 4, or 5 fish from your hand. And then Lantern Shark also has the effect of if you use it for the XE summon of a water monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 5 monster. Then I play 1 copy of Right Hand Shark. Right Hand Shark is only in this deck for the fact that an Xyz monster that uses only water monsters to Xyz summon it gains the effect of it can't be destroyed by a battle, which is very good for monsters like number 4 Stealth Kraken that has low defense but very high control potential. Then I play 1 copy of Lifeless Leaf Fish. This has the effect of when it's normal summoned, you can Foolish a fish from your deck. And then while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, then target 3 fish monsters in your grave, shuffle them into your deck, and if you do, draw 1 card. Then I play 3 copies of Buzzsaw Shark. Buzzsaw Shark has the effect you can target 1 fish monster on your field, then special summon that fish from your deck of the same level. The only downside of this card is if you use its effect targeting itself and it gets ogred, Ogre will negate it because it no longer has a target to match a level with. But the monster it summons has its effect negated and it's summoned in defense. And you only use each effect on Buzzsaw Shark once per turn. Then I play 2 copies of Crystal Shark. Crystal Shark has the effect of while it's in your hand or in the graveyard, then you can target 1 water monster on the field, have its attack, and if you do, summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. And then it can be treated as level 3 or 4 for the XE summon of a number monster. And you can only use each effect of Crystal Shark once per turn. Then I play probably one of the most important monsters in the deck right next to Buzzsaw Shark. That has 3 copies of Abyss Shark. Abyss Shark can be summoned from your hand by controlling a water monster, and if summoned by that effect, you can activate its effect so that you can search for a level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck, and if you do, then the next damage that a number monster inflicts is doubled, or the next battle damage. Which that effect hardly ever goes off, but you can only use each effect of Abyss Shark once per turn. Then moving on to the hand traps, I play 3 copies of Effect Veiler, just being a non-once per turn during your opponent's main phase, target an opponent's effect monster and negate its effects. Then I play 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Ash Blossom literally is only playing this deck because it can negate anything that would let your opponent move a card from deck to hand, deck to grave, or summon from deck. Then I play 1 copy of Foolish Burial just so I can deal with hand traps or Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Then I play 3 copies of White Mirror. White Mirror has the effect if you can target one level 4 lower fish in your graveyard, summon it from your graveyard, and if you do, you can add one fish from your deck with the same name. And you can only activate one White Mirror per turn. The only downside of this card is it can be ashed. Then moving on to the traps, I play 3 copies of Gozen Match. This is only in here to work with another number monster in the extra deck, which I'll mention when I get to it. But essentially this makes it so that each player can only control one attribute of monster, which locking yourself into water in this deck is not that big an issue. Then I play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, being able to activate from your hand if you're going second, to just target an opponent's effect monster and negate its effects. But if you're going first with it, it's just as good, if not better, as if it's activated on the field, it then negates all spells and traps in its column. Which I found out the hard way is if you activate on your turn, that does include your spells and traps. And then to finish off the main deck, I play 3 copies of Torrential Reborn. Torrential Reborn can only be activated if a water monster you control is destroyed. But when you activate it, this will you bring back all monsters that were destroyed. So like if you control a water monster, but your opponent activates Torrential Tribute or Dark Hole, then you can use Torrential Reborn to bring back all monsters that were destroyed as long as one of them was as long as at least one of them was water. But essentially, this just lets you summon them back and then bring your opponent for 500 points of damage for each one. You can activate 1 Torrential Reborn per turn. I like using this with one of the 2 copies from the extra deck, being one of the 2 copies of number 4 Stealth Kraken. This monster is also the reason for playing Gozen Match, because it has the effect of, while it's face up on the field, all face-up monsters become water. So use this with Gozen Match and your opponent only gets 1 face-up monster, unless they're also playing a water deck. But it also has the effect of, once per turn, you can destroy one opponent's water monster, and then inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of its original attack. And then if it is destroyed while it had material, or the Exceed Summon card was destroyed, you can summon Stealth Kraken spawns from your extra deck for each material it had, and then attach a water monster from your graveyard to it as material. So having Stealth Kraken play, and if it gets destroyed, I go, oh no, whatever shall I do? Activate Torrential Reborn. Activate Stealth Kraken's effect, chain Torrential Reborn. So now Reborn will bring back Stealth Kraken, and then burn my opponent for 500 points of damage. And then Stealth Kraken will summon 2 Kraken spawns. And Stealth Kraken, all of its effects are soft ones per turns. So if I had used its destroy an opponent's water monster before it was destroyed, I can do it again. And each Stealth Kraken spawn has the same effect as Stealth Kraken, except for it does not change everything to water, and it does not burn. So just by using that one trap, I get 3 pops on my opponent's turn. And I guess I can get 3 pops of opponent's monsters per turn as long as they're face up into water. Then I play 2 copies of Toad. Just a generic negate by sending an Aqua from your hand or face up field to the graveyard. And then if I want, you can set the destroyed card. So like one of my opponents was playing Mystic Mind because he had to play Mystic Mind to try to stall for time. But I used Toad's effect, sending Silent Sea Nettle from hand to the grave. So negate Mystic Mind, negate the activation of Mystic Mind, destroy it, and then I set it to my field. And then if Toad is sent to the graveyard, then it has the effect of, you can target 1 water monster in your grave and return it to your hand. The neat part of this card is if it's in the graveyard when Stealth Kraken is destroyed, then you can actually attach Toad to a Stealth Kraken spawn, and then if spawn dies, then Toad gets to re-trigger. And I don't think I mentioned it, but Stealth Kraken spawn has the effect if it was destroyed by being summoned, or if it was destroyed while it was summoned by the effect of Stealth Kraken, then you get summon Stealth Kraken from your graveyard and then attach a water monster to it as material. Then I play one copy of Abyss Dweller just to deal with grave effects. And since this is a water deck, Abyss Dweller also has the effect of, as long as it has a water monster as material, all of your water monsters will be gaining an additional 500 attack points. And something I'll be doing with this deck, if Toad gets banned because of Splight Frogs, then I'll end up taking both Toads out and then tossing in a second Abyss Dweller. Actually, I'll toss in 2 more Abyss Dwellers. And then I'll replace one of the 2 Bahamut Sharks with former Black Ray Lancer, so that Buzzsaw by itself turns into one of the best Xyz monsters in this deck, just by itself. But Bahamut Shark has the effect of... Why is it not focused? That's weird that it's not focused like it was before. Anyway, Bahamut Shark has the effect of once per turn you can detach material to then summon a rank 3 or lower water Xyz monster from your extra deck. However, if you use this effect, then Bahamut Shark cannot attack for the rest of the turn. And Bahamut Shark can just detach material, summon Toad. Which is actually part of a 2-card combo that gets you to 2 copies of Toad, as well as another negation effect. Then I play 1 copy of Silent Honor Arc, 1 copy of Nash Knight, 1 copy of Chaos Xyz Nash Knight, and then 1 copy of Chaos number 101 Silent Honor Dark. Silent Honor Arc and Silent Honor Dark can technically be any number from 101 to 107 that you want. I just prefer Silent Honor Dark in this case. But Nash Knight has the effect of once per turn you detach 2 materials from it to then target 1 number in your extra deck, attach it to as material, and if you do, you can attach 1 card your opponent controls to as material. So Nash Knight can deal with cards that can't be targeted or destroyed, such as Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And then Chaos Xyz Nash Knight can be Xyz summoned just by using a Nash Knight. But Chaos Xyz Nash Knight has the effect of once per turn you detach a material to then summon a Chaos number from 101 to 107 by using it as material. So this will attach Silent Honor Arc, summon this using that, and then this detaches Silent Honor Arc, summon Silent Honor Dark. And Silent Honor Dark has the effect of if it is destroyed while it has materials, and Silent Honor Arc is in your grave, which if Silent Honor Arc is a material for Silent Honor Dark, then that would still count. Then Silent Honor Dark will summon itself back from the graveyard, and then you gain life points equal to its attack on field. So something like Umi's in play, then you'll gain 3,000 life points. If there's something that's reducing all your opponent's monsters' attack points by 600, then you only gain 2,200. But normally you'll gain 2,800 life points. And then if it's summoned by this effect, using this effect that turn, then it cannot attack. But it also has the effect of once per turn, being a soft once per turn. You can target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls and attach it to as material. So one of the things I like to do with this card is I'll summon it, take an opponent's monster's material, crash with it, summon it back from the graveyard, gain life points, and then I'll take another opponent's monster as material with it. Then to finish off the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Future number 0 Utopic Future and Future number 0 Utopic Draco Future. Utopic Future is only in this deck to summon Utopic Draco Future. The Utopic Draco Future cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. I have to make sure because I originally thought it couldn't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Yes, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and if your opponent activates a monster effect, then you can activate its effect, negate that effect, or negate your opponent's activated effect, and then you can take control of it. So this can negate a Dragoon and then steal it. But that is it for the Shark deck profile. Moving on to the 2-card combo I mentioned before. That just requires Buzzsaw Shark and White Mirror. But you normal summon Buzzsaw Shark, activates effect targeting itself, to summon Silent Angler. Then you'll overlay these two for Bahamut Shark. Bahamut Shark detaches the Silent Angler, so you can summon out Toad. And then you'll activate the White Mirror, summoning back the Silent Angler and searching the other Angler. You'll then summon the Angler, then overlay your two Anglers to summon a second Shark. Then you'll detach a material, summon a second Toad. And then you'll overlay the two Sharks for Utopic Future. Where to go? And then you'll use Utopic Future, summon Utopic Draco Future. So those two cards by themselves give you 2 Omni Negates and a Monster Negate. But that's really the main reason why I like this deck. And just because if your hand is bad, you can still make a somewhat decent board as long as you have access to either Buzzsaw or Abyss Shark. But the one card Draco Future, if Toad gets banned, will be you just need Buzzsaw. But your normal summon Buzzsaw activates effect. Summon any level 4 fish from your deck. I typically would end up summoning, where is it? Lifeless Leaf Fish, just so you can recycle your grave fish later. Overlay them for Bahamut Shark. You activate Bahamut Shark's effect to summon number, I think it was 74. But use this effect to summon Rebarian Shark. Use Rebarian Shark to summon Full Armor Black Ray Lancer. And then use Full Armor Black Ray Lancer and Bahamut Shark, detaching their materials, which is actually important, to summon Utopic Future. And then Rebarian Shark will activate, letting you stack your deck with Rank Up Magic, the 7th one. Then you summon Utopic Draco Future. And on your next turn, you're guaranteed to summon a Barrier number, which I typically would end up summoning Silent Honor Dark, because then I would use Nash Knight and Chaos Xyz Nash Knight to summon Umbral Horror Masquerade. But that is it for the deck profile. If you have any ideas what I can do to improve the deck, any ideas like to see decks I make profiles of, or decks like to see face each other, feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching.